Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin', starring me, Kellie Raspberry Evans, and co-starring a featured player, kidding, my husband, Allen Evans.
Hello, I'm Allen. I'm just gonna lay out on you if you're gonna do that.
I was teasing. Don't get an attitude already. We're starting.
I'm not.
Actually, it's been a great day for Allen and me.
It's been a wonderful day.
It's been a date day. All day we've done date stuff.
We have. But babe, before we get into all that.
Before we get into our date day?
Yeah, something has crossed my mind that, I get messages from listeners that say, hey, I just listened to your podcast for the first time. Mm-hmm. So they haven't listened to all the 52 others before this.
Yeah, we've done that many, a year's worth.
So what is this? What is this Sandwich and Some Lovin', and what do we talk about?
A Sandwich and Some Lovin', Allen and I started it about a month before we got married last year. We got married on July 1st, and I guess towards the end of May, first part of June, we started doing this podcast sort of as fun at first, something new that we could do together, and then it kind of became this regular thing. And we started getting sponsors, and we've gotten to do a couple of appearances and stuff, so that's been a lot of fun.
Amen.
But the whole premise of it, the reason we started it was because Allen and I met.
You and Allen should do a podcast.
This was his boss man George impression.
Hey, Kellie, you and Allen should do a podcast. Amen.
That's very good.
I really think it'll be successful.
And we still need to have boss man George as a guest.
Yeah, we do.
You and he are supposed to sing some Johnny Cash together.
We will. Sorry, I threw your wheels off.
So it was George's suggestion, boss man George.
Amen.
So anyway, we met. We don't, we're not ashamed of it. A lot of people still lie about it. I don't know why. We met through online dating, a Bumble. And a year later, Allen proposed, and we got married. And a lot of people kept telling us because, I'd been divorced 10 years, single mom. I was past 40. Allen divorced less than me, a couple years when we met.
A couple years, yeah. But 3 children.
Over 40, 3 kids.
Single dad.
But we found each other, and people kept telling us how much we gave them hope. And we want to encourage people not to give up with, online dating and just not giving up hope, because love is out there and life's too short. And at the same time, it's still long. You have a lot of life left to live, and it'd be great to have someone to grow old with.
Aww.
And I have you.
That's very sweet. That's a lot better than how we started out.
So anyway, we named it A Sandwich and Some Lovin' because the whole idea behind that is women are very complicated. Women, we need to talk out our feelings. We need closure and all this stuff. And men just need 2 things, basically, and they're happy. That's food in their belly and sex.
They need to...
So food and sex wasn't a great name for a podcast, so we called it A Sandwich and Some Lovin'.
They need to find a nut, and they need to...
Thought you said you weren't going to be vulgar this podcast.
So, yeah, we talk about, we've talked about sex, baby. We've talked about you. And we've talked about that. We've talked about just wheels off stories we've encountered in our everyday life.
Yes.
We talk about blending families and children.
Yes.
Discipline.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff. So if you're listening for the first time, we're so happy that you're here. We really are. Mm-hmm. And you know what, babe? This is
we hope you listen again and again and again.
This is going to be the podcast of the listener. That's what we're naming this podcast.
Why? What?
Because we got a bunch of questions this week.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We love it when you send us questions because, we can sit here and talk about us all day, but we might not be talking about what you want us to talk about. So if you go to kellyanddallen.com, there's a way to submit your questions.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of these will, like our listeners, kind of determine what we're going to talk about, basically, today, and a lot of the time, too.
Oh, but don't get us wrong. We are talking about the royal wedding a little bit, because I haven't quite gotten it out of my system yet.
That's fine. I have some hot sports opinions on the royal wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Absolutely, I do.
Good.
So, Kellie and I went on a date today. We're going to talk a little spontaneous date. I mentioned this is going to be all about the listener. We're going to talk about royal wedding. We went to a wedding, and we might touch on that a little bit.
We had a very busy weekend.
Very busy last weekend. We went to see Avengers today. So
finally.
Thought we might do a movie review.
Finally, Avengers Infinity War.
We found a show that we like to watch. This has been a good week for us.
It has. Our bond has strengthened.
Oh, as if it couldn't get any stronger.
Well, it was a little tenuous a few times during the move.
When was it tenuous?
Well, we've had some. So let's not lie. We've had a few stressful moments during the move.
So
we're the honest podcast to a point.
We're so honest. So yeah, and then so that's what we're going to be all over the place.
Okay, well, let's get started with what? Where are we going to start first, Captain of my ship?
Well, before I cut you off, you were talking about what we did today.
You want to just start there?
Yeah, sure.
So, I get done with work. Alan works from home, and I work on the radio in the morning. And so I got done about 11:30 this morning. So my habit is I get in the car and I call Alan. What's going on? And he said he had just finished working out and you were going to go get lunch. Would you like to join me? And so that became a spontaneous lunch date, which, let's be honest, we go to lunch pretty much every day. And we got to stop doing that because it's a lot of money.
Kelly and I are
big eaters.
big lunchers. So I wanted to go to one of my favorite places. I thought I was going to eat by myself today. So I was headed there because I didn't hear from Kelly, and I figured, she was caught up at work.
Yeah, we were having a lot going on at work.
But on the way to this establishment, which is called Payway.
And I love Payway.
#, not an ad.
Not an ad, but we have Payway a lot.
Yeah. Kelly, I told Kelly, I said, hey, I'm going to Payway. You want to go to Payway? And she's like, nah.
We just didn't we just do it so much.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. And I said, okay, that's fine. But I'm on the highway, and I can't really talk right now because I have the top down. I can't hear you. So I said, just text me where you want to go, and I'll meet you there. Mm-hmm. So about 5 minutes later, she texts me the name of this restaurant. And it's a pretty nice restaurant. Can we say the name of it?
Yeah, Houston's.
Houston's.
Some place call it Hillstone now, but I love their club salad. And I'll tell you what, they have the best grilled artichokes on the planet.
Oh, man, that was good.
They have to be in season. Sometimes you'll go and they'll say they're out of season, and my soul is crushed. But you don't eat them on a first date. You have to eat them after someone's really in love with you because they're really messy, and you have to suck them and pull them with your teeth.
And you get char grill stuff under your nails, and your hands get real oily. But anyway, Kelly she wanted to go to Houston's a couple of weeks ago, and I put the kibosh on it. I think because I was wearing gym clothes. Same sitch today. I said, you want to go to Payway? I'm not feeling Payway. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Just tell me where you want to go. She texts me Houston's. I'm like, well, I can't shoot her down twice in a row.
Yay.
So I said, okay, I'll meet you at Houston. So
but the thing about Dallas,
I am the only one in Houston's wearing gym clothes.
There was another guy wearing shorts. The thing about Dallas is nobody cares, especially at lunch. You can go anywhere.
Mm-mm. They cared. Remember, the hostess said, sir, would you mind removing your headgear?
Okay, your hat. You had to take off your hat.
And I was okay with that. I didn't find...
Right, that's it.
I wasn't embarrassed or had a problem with that at all. It's a nice restaurant, and in my opinion, men should never wear their hats while they eat.
But you were about to do that. You just forgot.
I just forgot I had my hat on.
Yeah.
Same hat I'm wearing right now.
So it was a tad on the not cheap side for lunch. But that's fine. We, whatever. And then after that, we went to Home Depot, which I'll tell you the truth, ladies. I think going to Home Depot with a man is sexy as hell.
Why?
Although, you know what? That's a weird analogy. Hell is not a sexy place. Hell is really bad. Why do we say sexy as hell?
I don't say that.
It's eternal fire.
Some people say sexy is
well, that's not sexy either. How about sexy as all get out? It's so sexy to see a man walking around.
How about foxy?
Foxy, okay.
Every once in a while, I'll use foxy.
Okay, you're foxy. You were walking up and down the aisles, going right to the, like you were just buying switch plate covers.
Oh, but I knew where they were.
And you knew where they were, and you went and picked them out. And then you had to go ask a man, can you point me to the direction of, you were looking for something for the mailbox. And it was just like, that's so sexy. I don't know what it is about that. Just something about a man in Home Depot.
Really?
As sexy as all get out.
I don't understand that.
I do.
Okay.
I can't explain it.
Well, I'm good with that.
It's manly. It's just hot. I really like that.
Does that give me a better chance of having relations if
Absolutely. Go straight to Home Depot and take me home.
So if I wear a ball cap,
I just think it's hot.
Go to Home Depot, I have a much better chance of having relations.
I just think it's I don't know if I stand alone in this thought. I don't think I do. I'm getting a little tingly thinking about it right now. But I'm serious. I think it's very sexy. So after that, I had to go pick up from my daughter from school. So forget about the afternoon delight. But so her dad was picking her up, but I had to meet him at the house anyway. And then we looked at the watch, and Alan and I, we it was going to be a night with no kids in the house, so we couldn't do a date night because we have the podcast. So I was like, why don't we go to a matinee? Because we haven't been to a movie together in how long? It's been forever.
Name the last movie we went to. Thank you.
It was with the kids. It was The Greatest Showman.
Oh, Greatest Showman, yeah.
That's the last one.
Okay, duh.
Okay, so I can remember that.
Great movie. Yeah.
But it was at that movie that Alan and I got into a fight over popcorn. which Alan reminded me of today. I didn't remember it because I let things go.
Here's the deal. Can I jump in here?
Oh, okay. I was going to tell the truth, but you can jump in.
No, here, just may I interject?
Please.
We walk in, hand the guy, or we buy our tickets, walk into the concession stand. I said, do you want popcorn? Because I'm going to get my own. And Kelly says, oh, you're not going to share with me?
Why would we just share a large?
I said, no, well, because last time we got in an argument about how much salt to put on the popcorn. So I said, we're not going to do that this time. You're going to have your popcorn, and I'm going to have my popcorn.
You salt it to the point where it's inedible. It's inedible. I can't imagine. You put so much. You salt stuff before you put it in your mouth. We sit down, you automatically salt stuff. So we had an argument apparently last time, which I let go. And
I didn't want to hear it this time.
So instead of just getting one large popcorn and splitting it,
so I nipped that in the bud.
We got 2 popcorns.
Yes.
And 2 drinks. And
yes.
It was like $20-something. It was ridiculous.
It was expensive.
But our relationship is still intact, I guess, because of it. And the thing is, you finish it before the movie even starts. So we had to sit there the whole movie. And I got a small drink because I didn't want to have a full bladder. Guess what? Halfway through the movie, I'm about to pee in my pants. I sat there the other half of the movie dying.
Yeah, I was dying too.
You don't want to get up because you're afraid you'll miss something.
I drank the large, which is about as big as you remember the 7-Eleven big gulp?
I know.
That's how big my drink was.
You were like, that's all you wanted because you were so hot.
And I've got
the biggest Coke they have.
And I've got an ant bladder. So
it was painful. But speaking of Avengers Infinity War, I knew the ending because people spoil it. And my job is to kind of look up gossip and be on the internet every day. Alan had no idea about the ending, so I didn't ruin it for him. But I'm not going to ruin it now for people. I really enjoyed it. I love action movies. I didn't understand all the Chris Pratt characters from Guardians of the Galaxy because I never saw that movie. So I didn't get all those relationships, but it was still really good.
But before we do a full movie review.
Oh, I wasn't going to do. Okay.
Which we'll get to here in a second.
Okay.
Before
Can we do that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's take care of business.
But do you remember in the Avengers movie, how they needed to assemble their team?
Yes.
This is a stretch. But do you remember how they needed to assemble their team?
Yes. You have to have the right people on your team.
You got to have the right people on your team. Do you think
the right powers to combat evil?
Yes. So you think big Chris Evans, who was Captain, you think Captain should have used ZipRecruiter? I
think he might have had better luck. He would have never gotten Chris Pratt involved. I hope that's not a spoiler. Ticked me off that never mind.
He should have used
spoil the movie.
He should have used ZipRecruiter.
But had Captain America used ZipRecruiter.com, he would have had the absolute best people to hire. Because if you are in the position of hiring for your company, every business needs great people, and a better way to find those people, something better than just posting your job online and praying the right people show up. I remember when my parents had a business. Oh, Lord.
Would they just post and then just wait?
You wouldn't believe some of the people. But then who showed up was just people that wanted you to sign a piece of paper to prove they applied for the job so they could get their government money.
Bunch of jacknuts.
So ZipRecruiter.com. I'm digressing. ZipRecruiter has revolutionized hiring. They have technology that I cannot begin to understand or explain, but they find the right candidates for you. It learns what you're looking for. It identifies those people with the right experience and then invites them to apply for your job. You just open your inbox and there it is.
So right now, babe, our listeners can try it for free.
Yes.
At ZipRecruiter.com/sandwich.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's ZipRecruiter.com/sandwich.
Because ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire Captain America next time.
It really is.
So yeah, back to that. So I will say this, Avengers, everybody was like, a lot of people were a little upset with the ending, but you already know there's going to be a sequel next year, right? Everybody knows that.
I don't know that.
Well, I thought everybody knew that.
I don't know. I am a very...
I take it for granted that people keep up like I do.
I am a Avengers fan from afar. Mm-hmm. I like the movies, but I don't get into them like Star Wars, where I know all the characters and the storyline and everything. Like, they're great movies, but I don't, who is Groot? And what's his bit?
That's what I'm saying. We didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy, and so we don't really know those characters. So it's hard for us to be emotionally attached to a stump. But see, the thing is...
It was Vin Diesel.
Yeah. But I don't understand because it was a teenage Groot, and it didn't sound at all like Vin Diesel, so they had to use a voice alternator. So why don't you just hire some kid, pay him union scale, and save your money?
And who was Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle works with Iron Man. You've seen the Iron Man movies. He replaced the first guy that he was the second. Oh God, I can't remember the other.
See, I don't know all the characters.
There was another actor in the first Iron Man movie that got fired and replaced, but I can't remember, by Don Cheadle. But he didn't know who Gwyneth Paltrow's character was, but I knew that's Pepper Potts. She works for Iron Man and they're in love. Pepper Potts. Yeah.
That's right.
But anyway, there's a lot of the characters that pop up. You should stick around for the closing credits because there is, this is not a spoiler. There's always an extra bonus scene at the end of the Avengers movies. So you always stick around for that, which a surprise character pops up. I will not spoil that either, but it was a nice big surprise. And
overall, I think we enjoyed the movie. So let's give it. It was not a
satisfying ending because.
What are we going to give it?
I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Okay,
thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Okay,
but I'll tell you, it's not a satisfying ending because it's not the ending. It's like break in the middle. To me.
Yeah.
And I'm not sad.
I don't know, babe.
Because I know good conquers evil in Marvel Comics.
It does?
Doesn't it?
Well, I'm not going to say anything else.
I mean, we've only seen half of a movie, honestly.
All I know is the Avengers got their butt kicked in this movie.
See, now you're spoiling it.
No, I'm not. They get kicked in other movies too.
But there's always a happy ending.
Yeah.
Except for when, I don't know.
Yeah, we shouldn't say.
I don't keep up enough.
We shouldn't say anymore. Mm-hmm. It was a good movie, though. We enjoyed it. And
everybody that's wanted to see it has probably seen it because, we just took forever to get around to it.
Our daughters, Brooke and Emma Kellie, have seen it.
Yeah, we dropped them off at the movies because we had to go to a wedding and, they're old enough to stay home by themselves, but they were bored and wanted to go. So we dropped them off at the movie and found out what time. You can ask the guy at the ticket counter, what time does this movie let out? So you know exactly what time to go back and pick up your kids.
So, okay, so that's our movie review, right, babe?
Yeah.
Anything else we want to say about Avengers?
No, go see it.
Hey, I forgot to do 2 shout-outs. One shout-out is for my son, Cole. Cole turned...
Does he listen to a Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast?
No, but I want to tell all our listeners about it.
Yeah.
He turned 10 years old on the 22nd, which was
Tuesday.
Yesterday. So
as of the recording of this podcast, it was yesterday.
Congratulations, buddy. I love you very much.
Double digits.
Cole is double digits. And then the second is congratulations to my friend Mackenzie and her new husband, Aaron.
What's her new last name? I forget.
Roberts.
Okay.
So
she goes
much
from
easier.
Wassenaar,
She was Wassenaar, which I could never. I've known Mackenzie for years.
A lot of A's in that last name.
I cannot spell her last name. But anyway, here's a little trivia about Mackenzie. Mackenzie, I used to work with Mackenzie in a job a long time ago, and she was one person I knew I could trust to help me with my proposal to Kellie. So Mackenzie actually set up my Bluetooth speaker and was hiding at the top of Reunion Tower so that when I did a signal or she saw me do something,
drop to your knee.
Yeah, thanks, babe. When I dropped I got on bended knee, she knew to hit play on the Bluetooth speaker, and that played "I Love You" by the Climax Blues Band,
which is our song. But because I was so overcome with emotion and jumping around and screaming, I never even heard the song until Alan's like, "Do you hear what's playing? What? Oh!"
So Mackenzie's a dear friend of mine,
part of the greatest proposal ever,
and we went to her wedding this weekend. And it was an outdoor wedding.
It was, and she feels bad about it.
Yeah, you could tell she was
apologetic.
She told me, I met her before the wedding to go over a few things, and she said, "Man, I hope it's not hot." And it really wasn't as bad as we thought it would be.
It wasn't. They were predicting the hottest day on record for that day, but she was thinking a May wedding. It might be, it's going to be around sunset and. The temperature be dropping. She figured maybe 80 degrees, but it was more like 90-ish, 90, a little bit more than that.
But we had a
great breeze going, and it was really fine. I was honestly kind of like, oh my gosh, we're going to be just, thighs sticking together. It was going to be, and Alan's she asked for people to wear formal wear, and Alan wore his bow tie and his wedding suit.
I was the only one wearing a tux at the formal wedding.
She said formal attire. And Alan was the only one.
That's what I did.
There you go. I guess people saw, hey, it's 90-something degrees. I'm not wearing a tux.
But it was a nice wedding. I'm very happy for Mackenzie.
Very sweet.
And then she drove off in my slingshot.
Yeah.
Her and her husband.
Nice surprise.
They asked me if they could use the slingshot, and I said, sure. So they borrowed it and they drove off. We got some great pictures.
And don't everybody else be asking to borrow the slingshot for your wedding. This is somebody that was our wedding gift to them because she helped us out.
Yeah. We'll talk more about slingshots later.
If you would like to have a wedding slingshot, we've got a way for you to do that.
We can hook you up.
Yeah, we can. But it was nice. It was such a busy weekend because that day she got married on Saturday. So I woke up that morning at 4:15 a.m. because it was the royal wedding day. And the network coverage, I was going to watch NBC because I love Hoda Kotb. And I wanted to see what Hoda from Kathy Lee and Hoda.
Oh.
And so I wanted to watch what she had to say.
Is that Native American?
I think she's Egyptian.
Oh, Egyptian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I tuned in at 4:15 and apparently I missed Oprah. She was like one of the first guests to arrive, and I never saw her again. The camera never cut back to her again. But I got to see, George Clooney and Amal arrive, which I was devastatingly handsome couple. But George did not follow royal protocol and wear the morning suit with the tails. He wore an American suit. And I'm like, how many royal weddings are you going to be invited to? Get with the program,
Babe,
just play along.
I didn't even know that. And when I saw George Clooney, I looked at him and I said, dude, you're underdressed.
He was wearing the wrong suit.
I mean, he looked good, but it's like, dude, come on, man. This is like the royal wedding.
Pull it apart. And you're married to a British woman who's like big in Parliament or something. And she's a lawyer, a barista. I think it's a barrister.
Barista?
It's a barrister. We have baristas here. They have barristers there. But I mean, come on. A barrister, that's what they call their lawyers in England.
Oh, really? Baristas are at Starbucks.
Right. They have no law degree.
Hashtag Starbucks.
But anyway, I saw Joss Stone. I didn't know who she was. I was like, who's that girl getting her hand slapped because she was trying to touch the flowers and the cop said, don't do that. Joss Stone, she's a singer.
The singer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I know her.
I saw the Beckhams were there. And here's the thing. Did you notice Beatrice and Eugenie? There are Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew's daughters. Now, remember when they came to Kate and William's wedding, they wore these ridiculous hats. I mean, ridiculous. All anybody could talk about with those hats because you know why? In my opinion,
they were trying to steal thunder.
Steal thunder from the bride because their mother wasn't invited to William and Catherine's wedding.
Who? Fergie?
Fergie.
That's because she's lewd.
But she was invited to this wedding because apparently Harry and she have a very good relationship. So guess what Beatrice and Eugenie did?
No hats.
They wore simple
hats.
The simplest hats they could find because I think they were making a statement about, they were standing up for their mom, which I get it. But man, those hats were stupid.
Did Fergie go to this wedding?
She did. She was there.
Really?
Yeah. I saw her walk in.
Hasn't she had some personal transgressions?
Yeah, she has. But, her and Andrew, they're divorced, but she still lives with him. She's like the hard luck princess. She's just like this good time girl. And I can see
Nothing
why
wrong
Andrew
with a good
married
time
her,
girl.
but it just didn't work out. So anyway, it was really fun. I thought it was a beautiful wedding. I was, honestly, I'm going to tell you, I thought Meghan was beautiful. I was disappointed in her dress. It was simple, and I get it. I get it. She's royalty now. She's a duchess, and I get it. But I was just disappointed. I expected a little bit more from the dress. The veil was fabulous.
That tiara was fabulous.
The tiara was fabulous.
I'll say
on loan
that.
from the Queen. But, as Katy Perry rudely said, because it's not a competition between Kate and Meghan, it was never a competition as to who made the better bride. But Kate did have a point. Katy Perry had a point that she probably could have used another fitting. I think what happened is, as a bride, you get a little stressed at the end, and she had all that drama with her dad. She probably couldn't keep much more down than tea and a few biscuits before the wedding because she's British. Oh. And she lost some more weight, and I think the dress was just a little big for her. But otherwise, I thought Harry was so handsome, and when he bit his lip and told her, "You look amazing," and I'm so lucky. But I remember at our wedding, you told me I was beautiful.
I did, babe, because you were.
But I don't think the cameras caught that like they did for Harry, saying, "You look amazing."
She did look
and
very,
she would, and
very
she
pretty.
would like
she was really pretty.
She would kind of blush and look away. It was gorgeous. I loved the music. I loved that gospel choir, which was actually a British gospel choir. But the pastor that got down, he was from Chicago.
You know what I like about Meghan Markle?
What?
Just looking at her from a distance, I like her smile. She has a really pretty smile.
She does.
She has a really cool nose.
Yes, her and Harry have the same nose.
I like her
that
nose.
Kind of ski nose. They both have the same nose.
And I like her freckles.
Yeah, she's a pretty
I think
girl.
she's very, very pretty. But I will agree with you, babe. Her dress kind of wore her, and I don't know. I don't know anything about wedding dresses.
It was just too big.
But just looking at her, I was like, it's like a size too big.
It was. I think she just lost weight at the last minute.
Because she's not a big girl.
No.
Yeah.
But the stress of her dad, who I don't even know if he legitimate. I mean, I hate to tell, when somebody says they're sick or something, but like 2 days after his heart surgery, he was out getting, ice cream and stuff. So I don't know if he was just...
Wait a minute. Wait. 2 days before he had heart surgery, he was eating ice cream?
2 days after. He says he couldn't make the wedding because he had to have heart surgery to have stents put in his heart.
Did you tell me that dude's a bum and he lives in Mexico or something?
I didn't use the word bum. I said...
Did you say hobo?
No, I didn't use the word hobo. I said he has been homeless in Mexico.
Vagabond?
Sure. And, Megan doesn't have a great relationship with that part of her family. And I think they proved why. The way her half-sister was speaking out, the way her half-brother was speaking out. It was embarrassing. And I've never been a fan of Prince Charles because of what he did to Diana. And I was kind of like hoping they would just skip over him and get to William being the king. But I thought when Meghan asked him to meet her halfway down the aisle,
that was cool.
I thought it was a beautiful moment. And I saw here's the thing. I feel kind of sorry for Prince Charles now because I think he was forced into that wedding to Diana. It was a wedding he never wanted. Mm-hmm. And, she had multiple affairs, whereas Charles always loved Camilla.
Chuck loved Camilla?
He always loved Camilla Parker, who he's married to now. He always loved her, and he was forced into a marriage to a woman he never loved. And then...
Diana cheated on him?
Oh, my God, multiple times.
With who? That dude
times.
Remy or whatever his name was? What was his name? The guy...
No, the guy that she died with, she was divorced at that point.
Oh. What was that dude's name?
Oh, God, I forgot.
It was like Remy or something like that.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, I mean, it's just a tragic story all the way around with that. So I'm kind of softening towards Prince Charles, who's celebrating his 70th birthday, even though it's like 6 months from now because they do a big Jubilee celebration because it's 70. And so Meghan and Harry postponed their honeymoon so they could be there for Charles's birthday. And it was her first appearance as the Duchess. And she had to wear pantyhose.
The Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah, she has to wear pantyhose as a royal.
No selfies. No dark nail polish.
No autographs.
No mini skirts.
I would totally do that.
There were a couple. Oh, no social media.
I would totally be on board with that. If you were royal, I wouldn't trade being married to you. I would love it if you were royal.
I'm about the furthest thing on this planet from royal.
But I just, gosh, everything about that wedding made
Dodi
me so...
Fayed.
That's it. That's who she died with. Somebody told you on...
No,
Facebook
I knew
Live.
that.
Okay. Yeah, Dodi Fayed. His father owns Harrods. His father owns Harrods.
Harrods?
Department store in London.
Oh.
So anyway, yeah, it was gorgeous. And I love that he did, Harry honored his mother. He gave Meghan as her wedding day gift that knuckle-to-knuckle aquamarine ring that used to belong to his mother. Mm-hmm. Her engagement ring included 2 diamonds from a brooch or a brooch, however you call it, brooch, that Diana once wore. Mm-hmm. And people think they left the chair empty next to William to honor, like that's the chair Diana would have sit in, but that's really not the truth. It was just because you don't sit in front of the Queen. That's the only reason that chair was
One
empty.
thing I learned about watching the coverage, too, is at the reception, when the Queen is done eating, everyone's done eating.
Yes.
If she finishes what's on her plate, or if she just finishes, everybody's plate gets taken.
But she's probably pretty considerate of that, and she probably eats slower to give people time to be done. I would think.
So you better watch what the Queen's doing.
But then again, I watched The Crown on Netflix.
Oh, before that, babe, have you seen pictures of William's Harry's older brother, right?
Yes, William's going to be the king.
And he's married to
Kate.
Kate is beautiful.
She is beautiful.
She is very, very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen pictures of William when he got married or when he was dating Kate versus now? I mean, he's lost like all his hair.
Yeah.
Like all his hair.
Well, Harry's balding too.
Really?
You didn't see the big bald patch on the back, so he's probably going to be along that
What would you think if that happened? It's not a big deal. I'm just saying they look totally different.
It doesn't bother me. A man balding naturally, I would rather see that than a hairpiece. I mean,
what if I lost all my hair?
A million times. Well, you've got a good head of hair, but if you started losing it, I wouldn't.
If I lost all my hair, I might be really self-conscious. I might wear a rug.
No, please don't.
Why?
Because it's really obvious.
Because it would look kind of like this.
Yeah, kind of like Mo. You got mohair. But anyway, yeah. So I thought it was a wonderful wedding. There's not a thing I would have changed about it, except for maybe getting that dress altered just one more time. But other than that,
the fellow that played the cello, was he playing the cello or the viola?
Yes,
Boy, that was beautiful. He was 16,
17, I
17?
believe, when he won some award in England. So he might have been 18 when he played. I don't know. It was such a traumatic situation for me because I was having to get ready to take my daughter to a volleyball tournament somebody scheduled right when the royal procession was going on. So I had to leave. I mean, pretty much when Harry and Meghan got into the carriage and were being pulled through the city, I had to take off for a volleyball tournament. So I didn't get to see, I've still got that part on DVR where they're waving to everybody, but I at least got to see the wedding. I got to see the kiss on the steps, which was so beautiful. I got to see her coming down the stairs with Harry holding her hand in the air, just like Cinderella. It's a real life Cinderella story.
Oh, here's something I think was cool that I learned. When they got in the Jaguar
for the dinner reception,
going to the reception, you remember
the dinner time reception?
Yeah, I remember he opened the door for her and she got in and he kind of helped her with her little dress and then he went around.
That was her Stella McCartney she changed into, and the bottom of her shoes were dyed baby blue for her something blue in addition to Diana's ring.
Okay, well, I don't know anything about the dress, but the car, the Jaguar, was a custom-made electric Jaguar.
Yeah, they changed it over to electric.
It was $500,000. That's an old Jaguar E-Type, I think. Mm-hmm. It's an old classic, but it was converted into an electric car. $500,000.
You like that?
Oh.
Do you think that was his or they borrowed it?
Oh, I don't know, babe.
It could have been there's something borrowed.
I have no idea.
But I wonder about like what her life's like now as a royal. Does she ever have to do her own laundry again? Does she ever have to go to the store to buy toilet paper? You know, those are the things that people, that's the things that people that are really famous say they miss is going to the grocery store.
You think the Duchess of Sussex rolls into H-E-B and buys her own TP?
Like, what if she's out of feminine products? Does she tell her, does she have a lady in waiting?
The royal
that goes and picks up that stuff for them?
A royal doesn't even do that.
Does she ever cook for herself again? Because I know, when Harry proposed, they were making a roast chicken together. So maybe just to feel like common people, maybe they cook for themselves sometimes. I wonder to that level what her life is going to be like from now on. Well, to never have to clean another toilet.
It's going to be pretty protected.
To never have to, cook for yourself again.
We don't cook for ourselves.
They never have to make their own bed.
But when we do,
yeah.
You know what we like to do?
Well, we do like to use Blue Apron.
We like to use Blue Apron.
The reason I love Blue Apron, which is the #1 meal delivery service in the country right now, by the way, is the quality of the meat is what we can't get over. Allen is I'll say it like it is. He's a meat snob. And
I really am.
The meat they send and the produce is so fresh, and it's the exact amount you need for the recipe, so there's no waste. They have 2 people plans if it's just you and your husband or you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and it's a fun date night activity. They have 4 family plan, which feeds 4. They even have a wine plan where they deliver bottles of wine to you every month. They have suggested menus, but you go through and look before the delivery is scheduled, and you can kind of mix in like, I'm not feeling like salmon this week. I'd rather switch that over to chicken or whatever. You can do that. If you're going on vacation, you can freeze your delivery until you get back from vacation.
Did you mention the wine plan?
I did, the wine plan. But I love Blue Apron. It's like I said, it's quality food. The fact that you can do it together. They do all the shopping. They get all the measurements right. You just dump it in, chop it up, and you cook it, and you're done in about 45 minutes. And
you're not just making burgers.
Yeah.
You're making things like short rib burgers with hoppy cheddar sauce on a pretzel bun.
Yeah, I would never do that on my own. But
you're making sear steaks and thyme pan sauce with mashed potatoes, green beans, and crispy shallots?
Crispy shallots. Do you know how to make a crispy shallot?
I
don't know how to make a crispy shallot, but with Blue Apron, step-by-step instructions.
45 minutes.
You can't mess it up.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. And here's a really neat offer. I know you've wanted to try it if you haven't tried it yet. You can check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free. 3 meals free if you go to blueapron.com/sandwich. You got that?
Blueapron.com/sandwich. Blue Apron. A better way to cook, babe.
And a sexy way to cook if you want to make it date night.
Woohoo.
That's sexy. Cooking together, going to Home Depot together.
You've said a lot is sexy tonight.
Well, I must be in a mood.
Whoa. Do I need to?
Yes.
Babe.
What's next? What are we talking about next? I think a bug flew in my wine. A gnat flew in my wine.
Well, I think we wanted to touch on this. Oh, no.
A gnat flew my wine.
Okay, well, it's
Dang it.
it's protein. It ain't going to hurt you.
A gnat flew in my wine.
We've got a bunch of questions here, babe, that we need to
get to that.
go through.
Oh, give me that. I'll get it out. Go ahead.
Babe.
I got to get my gnat out.
Should we stop the recorder right now?
No. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I'm going to get the gnat out. I just got it. Okay. Good.
Are you ready to join us and our thousands of listeners right now?
Yep.
All right, good. We got a bunch of questions here, babe. So a lot of them are for me, and I think there's one for you.
Well, we did. I think last time we were on the podcast, we requested people ask Allen anything, but you don't have to leave me out.
I know, and I know you'll chime in. But here's one.
Help myself.
Here's one for you. So I'll ask you this question, and we were just talking about this, but this is from Christina. Christina says, "Hey Kelly, I saw something on the internet that said Ed Sheeran was snubbed from being invited to the royal wedding. Why do you think that was? Was he even friends with the royal couple?"
I don't know if he's friends with them or not. I think he's probably met the royals because they do like those charity concerts and stuff. But Ed's on tour. And, Meghan and Harry planned this wedding really quickly. They had a very brief engagement, just like we did, baby doll. And so he probably, rather than disappoint thousands of fans to satisfy his ego of being at a royal wedding, he decided to honor his commitment. And I think that's probably the truth. I think that's more the truth of he probably was invited. But you know what? I just think Ed's just like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather sing for my fans that paid money, and rather than reschedule and all the headache and nightmare. Because that's what happens when these celebrities, these singers cancel concerts. People like travel from out of state to go to some of these concerts. They have hotel reservations, plane reservations, or whatever. And when somebody cancels, they'll say, we'll still honor your ticket for a later date. It's like, oh, good. Are you going to reimburse me for everything else? So I admire him if that's the truth. I don't know the truth, but I'd like to think that's the truth.
Okay. Thank you, babe.
Do you have an opinion on that?
I don't really. The only thing I know about Ed Sheeran is he's got some really wheels-off looking tattoos. He plays a Martin guitar that is really teeny tiny. It looks like a little toy guitar.
But he does awesome with it.
And he makes billions. So
Yeah.
good for him.
Good on him.
Okay, this next one is from Heather. Says, "Hi, Allen. Would you have proposed to Kelly when you did if there was not an issue with her vacation time? Not asking if you would have proposed, just wondering if you would have done it when you did if the time off work for her was not an issue."
Oh, it was an issue.
That is a really, really good question.
It's hard to know, right?
It's hard to know, but I think I would answer that by saying when I proposed to Kelly, I knew that I wanted to be married to her, and I hoped that she wanted to be married to me. So I didn't need to buy myself any more time. It just so happened that she had a finite vacation schedule that meant if I was going to propose, I had to do it in enough time for us to plan a wedding. So I'd never felt like I was under any pressure. The only time I felt like I was under pressure was when Kelly started bringing it up, and I knew what the deal was. She didn't need to bring it up because I knew what the deal was.
I was getting frustrated. Everybody knew that Allen probably was going to propose to me because of the way our relationship was progressing, that boss man George,
Amen.
Even before Allen proposed,
Amen.
He went ahead and arranged the vacation schedule to be just a tad bit longer than it normally is during that July time period.
The bromance is real.
He figured
Amen.
Allen would propose, and he figured we would have to get married on my vacation, and he figured I'd probably like to have a nice long honeymoon. So that was boss man George that, like, everybody kind of expected it, right? And he was
I don't know.
He was the first that kind of like doubled down on it.
I'm not sure what everyone else expected.
By the vacation schedule.
I knew in my mind, I was comfortable with the timing.
Yay, I'm glad.
Yeah, it just so happened we needed time to plan the wedding. So.
I never want to think that anybody gets married because they feel forced to. And women who kind of push their man into proposing against his will, do you really want to marry somebody that doesn't want to run down that aisle to be with you? You want everybody to want to be there. That's just my opinion.
I 100% agree with that. And at this point in my life, when I proposed, I was in my 40s. The first time I did it, I was in my 20s. And I'd like to think that what I learned in that amount of time was do it when you're comfortable with the whole situation and you think that your partner is comfortable with the whole situation. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, because it's your life.
It's your life you're about to sign up for.
And it's your divorce.
Exactly. So you want to make sure that, you're comfortable with what's going on, and nothing or nobody should pressure you into doing it, in my opinion. Okay, here's another one, babe. I believe that this person does not want us to mention any details like names and things.
That's a long letter. Can you edit?
Yeah, I can edit. So, dear Allen, my husband has a temper, not towards me, but I'm around it all the time. He gets very frustrated. He does things like a lot of things around the house, but he gets frustrated when he does those things. He gets so angry when he can't do them, like replacing fixtures, putting up a fence, and all these kind of things. He throws little tantrums.
Aww.
Okay, it's the same way if our dogs have an accident in the house, he gets worked up and angry. I've tried to explain it to him that this bothers me, how quickly to anger he gets. He assures me that he isn't upset with me, but it's just the situation. Lots of constant negativity in the house. When I calmly explain my feelings, he goes on the other extreme and says, well, I'll just hide my feelings, which is annoying and not what the wife wants to hear. And I think that's a little immature. Okay, so the question is, this is all concerning me because the next step in our marriage, I think, is going to be having a baby. So I'm concerned about his attitude. So what kind of advice do you got? And I want you to chime in on this one too, babe.
Tough.
Yeah, what kind of advice do you have to approach this situation, or what can I do to comfort him? We have a great marriage, but I want him to lose this temper. As a side note, he has a very, very stressful job. It's very demanding and
That's what it is,
very emotional. And I try my hardest to remember that during this time. He's in law enforcement.
See, that's what I think it is. He's taking out all of his stress from work at home. That's my initial. What do you think?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Work for men, men identify with their careers and what they do. That's part of being a man, I think, for a lot of men. And they bring a lot of that home. Boy, when I was in the corporate world, there were a lot of times, I got really, really stressed out and upset. And I tried my best to come home and just leave it at work. But it's hard, because you spend 8, 9, 10 hours in that
majority
environment
of your day.
And then you come home and it's tough. It really is. But, what can you do in that situation? I don't know. Just try to be as understanding as you can, but it seems like his attitude isn't changing. And now
How do you get somebody to work on their temper?
Yeah, now she's concerned. I hate to say it, but this one, he might need not an intervention, but you may need to go to him and say, honey, we're about to take a big step in our life, one of the biggest we'll ever take, and that's having a child. And I don't want our child to be around somebody, and you're a great person, a great husband, but I just don't want your stress and the negativity that you're creating to spill over into our raising our child. When a baby, it's probably not a big deal, but man,
boy, babies are stressful.
Yeah. You want to talk about stress? Talk about a new couple raising an infant when you have high stress jobs. That is one of the most stressful situations you can be in. When that infant is up all night crying and hungry, and then you got to get up at 6 a.m. and then do a 1.5 hour commute, that is a stressful sitch for a lot of people. So I think you got to go to him and say, honey, let's get some help.
Or get a new job.
Yeah, and that may not be...
you had to do that.
That may not be...
To cut your stress.
That's what I needed to do to cut my stress. But I really think this situation, and I would have never said this 15, 20 years ago, but this is something where I think you go to him and say, let's go get some help. Let's just
in hindsight, you can say that, but when you're in it, it's hard.
Let's go talk to somebody. This is no reflection on you. This will be better for our entire family. We can't raise a child with this kind of negativity.
Yeah.
Because our child is going to see this and learn this. And children are, this too. I'm preaching to the choir.
No, it's fine.
Children are so perceptive. They pick up on things that you would never think that they pick up on. And that kind of negativity, they pick that up, that's the way then they see two people relating with each other, that's the way then they learn how to communicate. It's just, I think you want to nip it in the bud, and it sounds like you've tried by talking to him. Maybe you got to bring in some outside help.
Or maybe get another job.
Yeah.
I've seen several people who have left law enforcement for other careers because it was just too stressful. And while I appreciate everybody that serves in law enforcement, because that's a job, man, it's hard.
Yeah.
But, it just depends. Not everybody, because you choose a career doesn't mean that that's the right career for you. Is it worth your marriage? Is it worth, I mean, I wouldn't bring a child into a situation where a man's that volatile all the time.
The toughest job, and I've had a bunch of them, the toughest job you will ever have is being a new father. Yeah. In my opinion, that is a tough, tough job. Learning what to do, being supportive as you can, staying up really late,
trying to support this hormonal woman that just gave birth.
Man, trying to get up the next morning and then trying to focus at work and then coming home and then trying to help out as much as you can and then traveling. And, both the man and the woman have their own stresses and they're different. But I guess from a man's perspective, balancing that stress at work along with right when you get home and then everything going on with the baby and the infant. And then if you compound that and you have 2 or 3 small children, that's tough. It really is. I've been there. It is very, very difficult. So I guess the short answer is try to get some outside counseling, I think. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Maybe encourage him, like, look, is this the right career for you?
Yeah.
I had to have that talk with you.
Yeah. I don't think I was having a temper problem.
No, you weren't having a temper problem, but you were just not happy.
Yeah, it was more of
You're just not happy.
I was just stretched so thin, I didn't feel like I could be there for the kids.
Right. It was just not a great situation. So sometimes as a wife, you just have to kind of say, look, I support you if you need to make a change.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's key too, having a partner that will do that. Having a partner that will say, I support you if you want to make a career change. That's tough. So I think going back to that letter, you got to be real supportive for your husband, even though you've been there for him before. Just try to buckle up and say, babe, we're going to do this together. We got to get you some help, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. This one is from Allison. This is a good one, babe. Why don't you take this one?
Let me read it or answer it? Oh,
I'll read it and you answer
Confused.
it. She says, Allison, how to fight in front of kids. Hi, this is both for Allen and Kellie. My husband and I have been married 6 years, together for 9. We have a 1-year-old, and now we're talking about having another. Okay. Our little guy doesn't understand us yet, so we want to develop a good habit sooner than later. What are some tips you have learned for communicating your displeasure with your spouse in front of a child without letting them in on it? We both think it's important to show our child it's okay to disagree sometimes without it turning into a fight. But how do you avoid correcting or snapping at your spouse?
Well, you're going to screw up. There's no avoiding that. You're going to screw up. And you're going to say things that you shouldn't have said in front of the children. I'm a big proponent of apologizing to children when you screw up. But I don't believe in hiding there's some fights you should never have in front of children, but there's sometimes you're going to fight and disagree in front of the children, and they need to see people that fight but still love each other and get past it. I think that's a healthy part of them learning that just because somebody is angry, that doesn't mean they're going to abandon you or, I think there's a healthy side of showing a child that you're not happy with each other. But sometimes you need to go back to, after you have a fight in front of the children, make sure you don't do the name calling. Make sure you fight fair. I think that's a big part of arguing. You need to show them how to fight, argue healthy. Argue healthily? Mm-hmm. Argue in a healthy way.
You posted a blog about this.
And then I did. There's a healthy way to argue.
KellieandAllen.com.
You don't say things you can't take back. Don't say things you say, I didn't mean it was angry, because you did mean it when you were angry. But then you can go to the children later and say, look, I know you saw your dad and I fighting earlier, but I just want you to understand sometimes we get upset with each other. And I know sometimes, tell the child, sometimes you get upset with me, don't you? But do you still love me? Do you think I still love you? And just say we all love each other and we're not, we're still a family, but sometimes we have little disagreements, but we work it out and everybody's fine. I think that's important to go to the children after the fight is settled. But, if it's a knockdown, drag-out fight, do that behind closed doors. The really ugly stuff, save it. But little disagreements, like too much salt on the popcorn, do that in front of the kids.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with what Kelly said there too. I had a very happy childhood, a very, very happy
You
childhood.
never saw your parents fight.
Well, I've told Kelly this before. I've never seen my father raise my voice to my mother.
Raise his voice.
Ever.
And see, you can argue without raising your voice.
And
you can.
And there were times I can remember as a child, though, in their very vivid memories, where I knew my mom and dad were disagreeing on something. So children see that and they remember it. Mm-hmm. So conflict is just a part of life, right? And
but did you ever feel like they were going to leave you or leave each other?
No, of course not.
Right.
But
they handled it in the right way.
Yeah, it's okay to disagree with your spouse. You're not always going to agree 100% on everything. You know, Kelly and I happen to have a relationship in which 99% of the things we go through, we kind of see eye to eye on. But then when there's that 1% we don't agree on, doesn't make her a bad person. Doesn't make me a bad person.
And you know what happens? Almost 100% of the time when we have an argument in front of the kids, Daddy, quit picking on Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's right. That's right.
So funny.
Then that shuts me up real fast. So, you know, I don't know where I was going with that.
There's a healthy way to argue. Just you have to show them fair fighting. You're demonstrating fair fighting. But then you go back afterwards and you talk to them about it.
Yeah. But kids see, again, back to my kids see that and they remember that.
Yeah, but don't not fight. I think that's weird for a lot of kids who's like, my parents never fought. And then suddenly they're divorced and they're blindsided by it. You know, you hear those stories, but they never fought. So then they're afraid. I think people are afraid of fighting in relationships if they never see it, you know?
Yeah. But no person is going to go through life and not be faced with a situation where they are with somebody and they have they disagree on something and they have an opposite viewpoint. That's just part of life.
Right.
So as parents, I think it's important to model how you get through that process.
Right.
You can disagree. Hey, I disagree with what you're saying. I don't think that's right, but that doesn't make you a bad person.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Look how much we agree. We're so perfect for each other.
We do most of the time. Okay, here's our last letter, babe. This one is from make sure it's okay if I read her name here. Yeah, I think it is. This is from Remy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cute name.
She says, I am a 29-year-old woman with a husband of 3 years and a 10-month-old baby boy. You take this one, babe. She wrote it to me, but this is a good one for you.
Okay.
She says, my husband has always been lazy.
Oh, maybe she didn't want you to read her name.
Maybe not. But it has hit a new high recently.
Too late now.
Yeah, too late now.
Alan.
Too late now. He doesn't do
Y'all need to use fake names, apparently, when y'all send in letters.
He doesn't listen to the podcast. He doesn't do any household chores, and most times he doesn't help with the baby. I wake up with the baby, take him to daycare, work all day, pick the baby up, come home, cook and clean, all while he lays on the couch.
I'm sorry.
He recently quit his job 3 weeks ago.
I'm sorry.
But he's made no attempt to get a new one.
I'm sorry.
My family and friends say that I should leave him. I've asked on multiple occasions to help me out more. He will help for about 3 days, go back to his old habits. Is there any advice you could give to make this relationship a give and take as opposed to me giving and him taking?
No, I don't have any advice on that, because here's the thing. When you express to someone how something in the relationship is upsetting you, how something needs to change, and they refuse to change it. When you've done that and they refuse to change, your options are to accept it as it is or to leave a relationship. I highly doubt that he just suddenly displayed this behavior after you were married. You probably knew this going in. There are people that say once I married him or married her, it was like a night and day difference. And that could be the case. But, now you've got a baby. That makes it exponentially harder. Oh my gosh. I just think when I'm divorced and remarried now, but a lot of us, and biblical to get married and you stay married and all that stuff. But I remember, as my reverend father, not really a reverend, but he came to me because I was like, get married, you stay married, that's biblical and blah, blah, blah. But he came to me, and just because you picked somebody to marry doesn't mean that God chose that person for you to marry. Just because you can convince yourself someone's the right person for you when it wasn't ever the right person for you, but you went ahead and did it anyway. But now you feel like this obligation before God and man because you said the words, but you picked a loser, it sounds like. It's that was back to mine. It's like, because I felt so much tremendous guilt about getting my divorce, but my dad said, why would you think God would expect you to honor a commitment that possibly wasn't what he wanted for you, right?
Right.
But here's the thing, he's not abusive. You're not saying he's abusive. He's just lazy. So maybe you can change your mindset towards that in some way. I hate with a new baby to suggest divorce. Perhaps leaving him and scaring him a little bit might spur him into action. Would that spur you into action if I was not really happy with something and I've told you, would that spur you into action if I took the baby and left and went to my mom's for a while? Would that spur you to change? Look what happened to John Cena. I mean, I hate to use that example, but, she kept saying, I want a baby, I want a baby. He's like, I don't want a baby, I don't want a baby. And she finally realized, I'm going to marry this man and give up my dream of having a baby. So she called off the wedding, and guess what? He wants all the babies. He's saying anything to get her back. I don't know. Sometimes men need to be shown what they're losing. I am really just rambling on this answer because it's a hard one.
It's a tough one. I think what's disturbing for me with this letter is
I'd love to hear a man's perspective.
Well, he knows he has a 10-month-old. He knows his wife goes to work. He knows his wife takes the child to daycare. If he's home, why is he not watching the kid?
You married a little boy. You married a little boy.
And this is the kind of guy who needs another man to
kick him in the pants.
To get in his face and say, dude, what are you doing? Man up. Man up. You got a 10-month-old, man. You got a 10-month-old and your wife working her fingers to the bone? I mean, come on. What are you doing? This is just stupid.
But
you're a bum. You're being a bum. Stop being a bum. I mean, I don't know what else to tell her, but
to get a man to intervene, is that what you're telling her? To find a man that maybe would intervene?
I mean, there's a lot of information we don't have, but does she have any family support? What about his dad or your dad? Are there any, or brothers, or anybody that can step in here and say, dude, this isn't right. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of information we don't have too. He quit his job. He's not looking for another.
He's depressed.
Is he depressed? Is he disabled? I mean, if he is able-bodied and there's nothing wrong with him, then he's being sorry. He's being sorry.
And he could be going through a bit of depression, and maybe he will come out the other side of it. But maybe he's a little
that may be
jolt of reality. Like, this is going to be your reality. I'm taking the kid and leaving.
His jolt of reality should be, dude, quit being a bum.
I know.
You got a 10-month-old at home.
So she's got to find. You're saying it'd be good to get a male figure to intervene.
Well, he's not listening to her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough. It's like, that's my whole point. When you tell somebody in a relationship, this is what I want, this is what I accept, but they still refuse to change or do the things to make it right, then what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Your choices are to accept it, that's the way it's going to be, or leave.
Yeah.
That's your two choices.
Yeah. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
And that's the way you might just want to give him a bottom line. If you haven't said those words verbally to him, say, look, if things do not change, I am taking the baby and I am leaving. And he's going to think, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. Then this is the thing anybody has to do. Even with discipline with children, you got to follow through with what you say. Even with children, it's the same thing. If you're like, I'm going to count to 3, and if you don't stop, there's going to be serious consequences. You count to 3 and nothing happens. They're like, oh, I'm not scared of you. So if you make a threat, which I hate to call it a threat, but if you make a promise, like, if you don't do this, this, I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. When they don't do this, this, and this, you got to be out of there.
Yeah.
You got to be. Because otherwise your word means nothing. Your threats are empty.
Right.
So that's, gosh, I hate that.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
I hate that.
Like, yeah.
But you know what? This is what I said in I do a segment called Love Letters to Kellie.
We've
all got to just pick better. You got to pick better people to marry and make babies with. You're falling, but I love him and his kiss is so good and we have good sex and all that. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a great partner and a great father. You got to look at everything before you say, yeah, I'm going to, hitch my wagon to that horse. Because then you're stuck with it.
Just because he's hung like a donkey and can breathe out of his ears, that doesn't make him a good partner.
What in the world does that mean? What does that even mean?
Means he can hold his breath a long time.
Alan, that's awful.
How is that awful? That's not awful.
Anyway.
All right. Those were good, babe.
Everybody pick better. Pick better men. Pick better women. And you know what I found is sometimes two people together are awful. Like you could think that person's the biggest bitch or he's the biggest ass or whatever. But then they get with another person and they're completely different.
Yeah.
It's like the right person brings out the best
totally.
in you.
Yeah. Different people bring different parts of a person's personality out. Oh,
you
totally.
Have a guy that's just with this girl and he's such a jerk and blah, blah, blah. Everybody hates him. But then they break up and he gets with another girl and it's like he's a different person because they bring out, there's just something about the connection that somebody makes you be a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
You make me a better version of myself.
Aww.
I still slide back into the negative stuff a lot, but you bring out the best parts of me. And I've been told that repeatedly.
Yay.
I would hope I bring out the best parts of you, as your parents have told me I do. So that's the thing. You can be miserable with the wrong partner. And just because you picked somebody doesn't mean that was God's choice for you. You picked wrong. You weren't listening to God. You made that. God wouldn't have sent me that person. God sent me. I'm going to tell you, I thought God sent me a couple people, but I just wanted it so bad that I believed it to be so. And then thankfully God intervened and said, no, I'm going to let you get your heart broken a couple times here because that's the wrong one. I'm babbling now.
No, you're giving some good hard hitting points.
We convince ourselves of what God's will is and God's choice for us is. And then we dive in and, that wasn't God's choice. And now you're stuck with it? I don't know. I don't know if God expects us to honor a commitment that was the wrong commitment. I struggle with that.
That's good stuff, babe. We may need a whole nother podcast on that.
I know.
But no, I think, did we answer her question?
We tried. We beat around that bush.
That's a tough one. I think maybe asking for some of the men, more senior men in his life to get in his face maybe a little bit.
I don't know.
And then, like you said, maybe an ultimatum is needed here. Hey, dude, I get that you're kind of bummed out, but, it's time to at least start looking for a job. Yeah. I'm not saying you necessarily have to have one at this moment, but at least make an effort to find one.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, hey, I can go pay the bills somewhere else, not here for you too, I don't know.
All right. Whew. I got all worked up.
I got worked up too.
I'm hot.
Well, babe, we are coming in. Did you know we're at an hour now? Did you know that we do about an hour podcast every?
It's roughly an hour. Yeah,
it's roughly an hour.
After about an hour, we just naturally run out of stuff to talk about.
We do, and we do 3 commercials every podcast. They are about 60 seconds apiece.
Today we've only done 2.
Well, we're going to do one more.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, we're going to do one more. But that is 3 minutes out of every 60 is commercials, which means 57 minutes of every 60 minutes that we do is commercial free. Did you know that 57 divided by 60 is 95%?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So our podcast is brought to you 95% commercial free, but we're going to do one more commercial.
One more, and it's for you, baby.
It's for me.
It's for you.
Kelly and I have a little side hustle. And
Allen has a side hustle.
It's really my side hustle, and I'm in business with a friend of mine. His name's Blaine, and we have a business called DFW Slingshots and DFW Slingshot Rentals, and we rent these little 3-wheeled vehicles called Polaris Slingshots.
They look like little Batmobiles.
Look like little Batmobiles.
But they're considered motorcycles.
Yeah. There's 2 wheels in the front, 1 wheel in the back. But you don't have to have a motorcycle license to drive one or ride one.
You just have to know how to drive a stick shift.
You just have to know how to drive a stick shift.
But I heard they do make them in automatics.
They're thinking about doing that.
I thought they already were.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyhow, we rent these vehicles out. If you're interested in renting one of these or buying a gift card for one of these for maybe your dad for Father's Day,
a great birthday gift.
Rent
it for a wedding. Great going away pictures. Can you imagine getting into the slingshot and taking off? That's cool.
They're really fun, cool vehicles. They're all open. They sound cool. They look cool. you get so many people looking at you and waving when you're in one of these, giving you a thumbs up.
Makes people happy.
Saying, hey, what is that? Oh, man, that's an awesome vehicle. Where'd you get that? You'll get that. But if you want to rent one of these, go to kellyandallen.com/slingshot, and all the information about how to rent one is there. You can send us an email, you can call us, and we'll set you up. And
it's great for Father's Day if you want to give one, and birthdays and things like that too.
Yeah.
I think we already said that, but I'm repeating it because Father's Day is right around the corner.
It is. And there are two more, just real quick, babe, two more shout outs I want to give. Mm-hmm. One is to an event we're going to this weekend.
Oh, yes.
You want to talk about that for just 2 seconds?
Operation Once in a Lifetime. I don't even know how long ago it's been now. And I honestly, maybe Patrick Sowers can remember the day we met, but he is former military, and he started a foundation to grant wishes to active and retired members of the military and their families. And it's just a wonderful service they provide. It's not just granting, like I've been there when, their fathers or the mothers are deployed overseas and the children left behind. He'll get a suite for like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, and he'll invite all these kids and their moms or their dads, depending on who's left behind, to come and see a concert. He'll pay for trips. Well, he will through the donations through Operation Once in a Lifetime. He'll take veterans all the way to Washington, D.C. so they can go to Arlington National Cemetery and pay their respects. He will find out about a service member who is almost homeless and needs help with rent. He'll, pay the rent. People who come home from the military and they have nothing. They're sleeping on mattresses on the floor. They'll get them beds. They'll get them basic necessities of life. They grant wishes for people. That's what Operation Once in a Lifetime does. And they have a Facebook page if you'd like to find out more. Operation Once in a Lifetime. I don't know if it's .com or .org. I'm not really sure about that.
Just Google Operation Once in a Lifetime, and you can find it on Facebook too.
Yeah, but this Saturday is a really big fundraiser over Memorial Day weekend. Every year, that Saturday, they do a big event out at Primo's. It's in Rockwall, right? Isn't that considered Rockwall?
It's called Rock the Troops.
Rock the Troops. It's, a lot of rock music, a lot of great raffle items, really cool stuff.
And we're raffling off a slingshot rental.
Among other things. So Operation Once in a Lifetime, if you'd like to donate or find out more information, you never know. You might be a person who can grant a wish for a family. You might have, I don't know, a mattress store, and you're like, I'd like to donate mattresses to some... it's truly, some of the stories are absolutely heartbreaking.
They really are.
And these are the men and women who serve our country, who fight for our freedom, and they come home and they have, some of them, nothing.
They help veterans with their job skills after they get out of the military.
Yes.
One thing I've learned about Patrick now that I've known him for a couple of years, he is one of the most selfless, hardworking, salt of the earth, genuine people you've ever met. And everything he does, it's for somebody else. Mm-hmm. Everything Patrick does, it's always he's doing it for somebody else.
It's always an angle, but the angle is, how can I use this opportunity and experience and this person I've just met to help somebody in the military and their families? That's his angle all the time.
So we wanted to have Patrick on this week, and we couldn't make it happen.
Yeah.
But we'll have him on another podcast.
Time.
But look up Operation Once in a Lifetime.
And Allen and I will be out there this Saturday at Rock the Troops if anybody wants to go.
Saturday night.
Go to their Facebook page, Operation Once in a Lifetime. I think there's links to ticket information there. Even if you can't go, you can buy raffle tickets. Even if you live anywhere in this country, you can buy raffle tickets. And I've been there and witnessed it. I draw. They usually have me draw. They will make sure you get it, whether you live in California or New York City. If you're listening, you can buy raffle tickets.
He raffles off they're amazing.
Cool
they're raffling off a Hummer.
Yeah.
Like a real Hummer. And lots of autographed sports memorabilia, a slingshot rental, lots of military type things like, some rifles and things like that, but lots of cool stuff. And then I know we're about to finish up here, babe, but I also wanted to give a shout out to Kellie and I have a good friend. Her name is Melanie Lansford. And Melanie is one of the sweetest people you will have ever met.
She is a ball of love and
She
sunshine.
is a ball of love. And
she can't tell you enough how much she loves you.
Melanie was at our wedding, and just a beautiful, fun, very engaging person. Well, Melanie was in a horrible car accident just a few days ago. And she, I think, is still in the hospital.
She's in physical therapy rehab right now. She shattered her pelvis and all that stuff. Yeah. They're saying she's lucky to be alive, that it wasn't worse than it was. But man, you see her right after, and she's just like, I love you. I'm just so happy. She's just so happy. And so Melanie, we hope you're listening to the podcast. We feel pretty confident you are. We love you, and we hope you get better
Melanie,
really soon.
I was really sad to hear that. So we do love you and hope you're doing okay. And Kelly went to see Melanie in the hospital, and
I need to go back. I think she's still at the same hospital.
I think you guys had a nice visit, but hopefully you're getting better. And we've been saying prayers for you. So, well, we covered a lot of ground, babe,
as we always do.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I think I'm good. Good.
You want to finish it right here?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Hour and 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Well, I love you.
We'll be back more stuff next week. Well, I love you desperately too.
Well, I love you desperately.
So good.
I love you desperately, and I'm going to go up to the media room and watch the end of the basketball game now.
Okay.
All right. Well, in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.